Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Willow Witch Tarot channel. We are going to get right into your reading today with your piles here to choose from. So you'll be picking from any of these three piles. Feel free to pick more than one if you are drawn to more than one. We'll be using different tarot decks today for each pile. So pile 1 is the Tarot Mucha. Pile 2 is the Herbcrafter's Tarot. This is a new tarot deck that I haven't used on the channel here before. This is what the guidebook looks like. And then pile 3 is an old favorite with the Wildwood Tarot. I'll be adding crystals in a moment to help you choose if you prefer to pick with crystals. And our question today is just a quick and important message that your guides wish to bring you. All right, I will grab the crystals. Okay, so pile number 1, you have a beautiful quartz point. Here is what that looks like. Pile number 2, you have a beautiful piece of tiger's eye. And then pile number 3, you have a labradorite heart. Some iridescent colors in there. Hopefully you can see that. Now if you need more time to choose your pile or piles, please feel free to pause the video. Otherwise we will be moving into pile 1 here in just a moment. Welcome, pile number 1. So you chose the beautiful quartz point. And I apologize, I am getting over a seasonal cold, so my voice may be going in and out just a little bit, but I felt really called to come and do a quick reading for you guys today. Been gone from the channel for a little bit, so it's really nice to be back. And you were drawn here to this Tarot Mucha deck. I already shuffled for you, but I always like to pull a couple extra, wow, that's a little bit of spirit talking through, pulling. These are going to be a couple of almost like extra cards for you, but I always like to shuffle an additional time on camera just to pull in anyone's energy. Okay, I'm almost feeling like we are getting information about an overarching scenario and then a couple different outcomes, which is a little bit different than I was expecting our reading to go, but we always follow what Spirit wishes for us to do. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you as well to kind of center and let us know about your energy here, maybe what you need to cultivate in your energy. So these are Crystal Sound Healing Oracle cards. Really, really beautiful. Feeling this one. Oh, we've got 2. Okay. So you have Aqua Aura Quartz, Balance, Equilibrium, and Flow. Let me adjust my... I'm going to just adjust that so that we can focus here. There we go. And then we have Saint Germain Frankincense, Elevate, Awaken, and Transform. You've got number 6 and number 10 here, so those might be significant for you. I'm actually going to put them on the side here for you. I apologize if the glare makes it a little hard to see that. Let's see if we can adjust that for you. There we go. Okay. So with your initial 2 cards that popped out here with the World card and the Temperance card, I'm really getting a strong message that there is something to, balance. I mean, balance, equilibrium, and flow is essentially what the Temperance card talks about. And it's really interesting with the number 10. I feel like you guys are getting almost a bit of that Wheel of Fortune energy coming in here. The Lovers makes me think of a choice with that number 6 there. So are you facing a choice? Something that feels like it ties in to a greater sense of purpose, of direction, of something that is leading to almost like a final plateau, a final destiny that you'll then use to elevate even higher. Yeah, there's a sense of being called here and needing to keep something in balance, needing to bring something back into balance, transform something so that it is more balanced out. Let's get a little more information with your tarot cards here. So I'm going to look at this first set of 3 cards first. So we have, wow, the Fool card. You guys are getting so many major arcana. It's really interesting. Wow, the Justice card. Okay. And the Page of Cups. So I do feel like something is going to come in here that's going to bring justice to the situation. There may be a communication that allows something to start. There may be an offer, whether that's a renewal of feelings or affections, an offer of love. I apologize, my voice is definitely giving me some fits. So yeah, I'm also being called to maybe bring that into the reading a little bit here with the throat chakra. So maybe there's someone in your energy whose throat chakra has been closed off. They've also been needing to kind of awaken and transform that throat chakra and bring some sort of communication back in to bring something more into balance. Getting a very strong sense here of something not being quite just, not being quite fair. You know, we've got the scales here in the Justice card. And it's interesting too, because even in this Justice card, the scales are just slightly off balance. So I don't feel like it's something, you know, hugely out of balance. It's not beyond repair is what your spirit guides are giving me. But it's something that does need, there's almost a sense of adventure and fun and being willing to, like the Fool, kind of throw a bit of abandon and yeah, it's almost like being willing to start anew. So, and it might be that this offer, this communication or message, new piece of information, yeah, it does feel like it's coming externally. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's like an internal realization with the Page of Cups here. It feels like it's something that's coming in to give you a new understanding or a new perspective, brings balance into the situation. It kind of informs you that this other party or the situation is willing and able to strive for that sense of fairness, that sense of justice. And it allows you to start something anew, to kind of put the past behind you and to take that trusting, willing leap. So let's get the information about this second set of cards here. I think we're ready for that. So we've got King of Wands, the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, really, it's really interesting. It's really showing me here that you're going to be, yeah, okay. So if there was a lack of this feeling, if there was almost like a scarcity feeling or a scarcity mentality here where, you know, something really felt out of whack, like you were giving and you weren't getting in return, or it felt like you were unable or unwilling to even open up your heart or open up your hands or kind of dip your toe into this situation to even get started or to continue with something that you had already started and already invested in, but it just didn't feel like it was giving back. this is telling me that this new sense of empowerment, of passion and vitality and purpose that you're going to be feeling after this information or offer comes to you is going to allow you to be extremely generous, more than you perhaps realized you even were capable or had within you, because the situation is going to be filling your cup just as much as you are giving out, even more. Like you aren't going to feel depleted even after giving so generously. You're still going to feel like you're abundant and have even more to give left in kind of your energy stores or your resources, whatever this particular situation is talking about for you. And then our last card here, yes, so you're going to be able to put down some pretty big burdens. I like that we're having this 10 card here come with this 10 card over here. It feels balanced. You know, it feels like we've got our 10 and our 10. The wheel is turning for you is the very strong message that's coming through. You know, it comes back to this world card here, our card of 21. So it feels like you're going to get this sense of balance. It's making me think of the judgment card and being able to make a judgment about this situation, and you find it worthy, and you find that you are able to take that next step forward. So I want to get just a little bit more information about this communication coming in. If there's anything in particular, I am actually going to grab a different deck, so hang tight for just one moment. Okay, so I felt really called to grab this Heal Yourself Oracle deck, and we'll get one or two cards here, whatever comes out, just about this communication coming in with this, that this Page of Cups is talking about, the one that's going to bring more balance and a sense of justice. What is this communication all about? Temptation. Interesting. I'm actually going to read from the booklet for you guys because I got a strong feeling that there's more to this card than might appear at first. So okay, so it says life is full of temptations, and right now you are being asked to choose the higher path. You need to prove that you are worthy and important. Your need to prove that you are worthy and important is clouding your true purpose and tempting you to make wrong decisions. Become aware of what is happening in your life right now. Are you feeling bored in a relationship and looking for something outside of your partnership instead of being honest and working on the challenges you're experiencing or moving on? Is there a work opportunity that is tempting you to act without integrity in order to get ahead? Are you using money as an excuse not to follow your heart? This card asks you to focus on the bigger picture, be honest with yourself, and take the higher path. Another opportunity that is much grander than what you have imagined is on its way. Just be open to it and allow it into your life. Okay, so a few messages coming through there for you guys. I don't always take the wording of the book at face value because it gives us an overall sense of the energy this oracle card is bringing on, but it's always, take it with the greater picture here of the rest of your reading. So a couple different scenarios here. The first one is that if this is relating to another person that you've been dealing with, there may have been a concern that they were being tempted away, or that there was a greater temptation outside of either your relationship or, however they relate to you in your life, whether it's a work partnership, a business deal, a client, a love interest, a friend, a school, whatever it might be. There's a million different scenarios for a million different people. So whatever this might be, if they were giving you certain signs that you were reading as, perhaps they're being tempted away or anything like that. Sorry for my phone there. So you might get a phone call, actually. I'm getting that message as well. You might get a phone call that lets you know, whatever this communication is, it's going to let you know that they were not being tempted away. Or if they were, they came back into balance. They reassessed and realized the maybe kind of shallowness of that other, option out there, or they realize that what they have here in the connection with you, the partnership with you, what you have to offer is worth so much more than, anything that could be out there on the table in another place. And I'm also getting for some of you that there was never actually this temptation. It may just have been, your own worries from the past, maybe some baggage that you carry from previously being burned, or past relationships were just coming in a little bit as fears for you. I'm seeing this almost as like a shadow memory, a shadow side to your feelings towards this person that were coming up. But you're going to get communication that reassures you and essentially allows you to put some of that baggage down, particularly in your relationship with this person. So pretty good. I feel like there's definitely a sense of relief and healing and being able to lay down some worries and concerns here. And then the other scenario that I'm seeing is that if you were being tempted towards something that was actually throwing your life a little bit out of balance, like the booklet was saying, if there was something that you were being drawn to because of money, maybe a career position that didn't really fit your personality and your calling, and you knew it wasn't going to fulfill the greater purpose or passion that you are aligned with. And yet it was so tempting because it seemed like maybe it would give you status, money, connections, whatever it might be. You might be getting some information that makes that offer a lot less tempting, and you're able to view it in a more balanced light. Not to say, tarot doesn't tell you what to do, right? So you always have free will and free choice. You're always allowed to go after whatever you want. But this, I think, is just giving you some more insight so that you can make a balanced decision. Maybe you still decide to go after that opportunity because you decide that you can, meet your passion, meet your purpose in another area of your life, whether that's, family, whether that's volunteer work, writing a book, a side hustle, whatever it might be. And, this job is going to do a better job of paying the bills or meeting another need that you have. And that is perfectly okay. There might be, I'm even getting some information about you being a little bit worried that people will view you not in a just or fair light because of this. But I think those people's minds will change when they see what this does bring into your life and how it allows you to actually be generous to your other passions and pursuits and lay some burdens down. Maybe you were dealing with some debt or something like that. So, that's one interpretation. I'm going to leave the other interpretations up to you, my beautiful pile number one. I hope that this has enlightened you and brought some clarity into your situation, brought some additional information in for you to take into light as you're making this very important choice. But just remember that this communication is intended, your spirit guides, the universe, whatever your higher guidance that you align with is bringing this information in for you to help you bring your life and self more into balance. And so just center back into that, how can I use this information to balance out the different areas of my life, different needs that I have. And that will guide you through. So, all right, pile number one, thank you so much for joining me here today. I very much enjoyed doing your reading, and I hope to see you again in a future reading. Take care. Hello, my beautiful pile number two. So you were drawn to the Tiger's Eye crystal, and we're going to just put this up here in the corner for you. You were also drawn to this beautiful Herbcrafter's tarot deck, and I'm very excited. It's the first time I am using this deck in a reading on this channel. I've used it a bunch now in my own personal readings, so I'm still familiarizing myself with the deck to some extent, but I really enjoy the energy, and the messages that come through are just very beautiful and very healing. And I apologize about my voice. I am recovering from a little seasonal cold, so if I'm a little bit hoarse sounding, I do apologize. But I really wanted to do this reading for you guys today. Let's get just a couple more cards here for you. There we go. Okay. So we will start with these that flipped over, because I feel like they are kind of your anchoring cards today. We have the Emperor with Hemlock. We have, wow, the Hierophant with Cacao. You know, it's really interesting. Pile one also started with several major arcana. So you may be drawn to pile one. I have a feeling it's going to be a very different message, but we are complicated beings, and there can always be multiple messages coming through for us. So, but we will get back to your reading here. So we've got the Emperor, Cacao, the Hierophant with Cacao, and Temperance with Camellia. I believe that's how it's said. Let me see if I can focus a little better for you guys. There we go. Okay. Just love the imagery in these cards so much. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your tarot cards out on the table here and get a full view of your message. So we have Seven of Earth, which is the Seven of Pentacles with Oak, and the Six of Earth with Pine. It's really interesting that we've got two, you know, this deck is very well shuffled, and we've already got two pairs coming out. So we have, you know, the Seven of Earth with Oak here, the Six of Earth with Pine, and then we also have the 4 and the 5. So we have a 4, 5, 6, 7. How fascinating. So definitely getting something is stepping up, something. Oh wow, and then 2 tens, you guys. There's some sort of magic going on here in your reading today. And then the 6 of Air with Cattail. Interesting. So it's really interesting that we did get, you know, a pair, and then this 6 of Air, which is the 6 of Swords. 10 of Water is the 10 of Cups, and 10 of Earth is the 10 of Pentacles. So what a pair here. And I feel like it's kind of coming out underneath the Hierophant and Temperance for a reason. The 7 of Earth and 6 of Earth is coming out under the Emperor. And then the 6 of Air, we are going to pull an Oracle card for you. Let's go ahead and just do that now, because I feel like it's going to relate a bit to our 6 of Air energy. So we're using this beautiful sound healing Oracle deck. Yeah, there's very magical energy around your reading. Okay, wow. Aqua Aura Quartz, Lemurian Seed Crystal Shungite, Stillness, Rejuvenation, and Soul Purpose, number 42, which adds up to a 6. So definitely a confirmation that these kind of go together. So interesting. The 6 of Air with the 6 of Swords energy coming through, you know, it talks about moving from something that was rough into something that's clear, something smooth sailing. this stillness and rejuvenation. I feel like you're in a little bit of a need right now to do some contemplation and center in, get back in touch. If any of you feel like you've lost touch a little bit with your soul calling, your soul purpose, there's strong guidance here, and extremely strong with all of these feathers, to touch back in with, I do feel like your spirit guides are wanting to communicate with you. So if any of you do like that form of writing, it's eluding my mind right now what it's called, but it's that form of writing where you just kind of let your thoughts flow and you open yourself to any guidance that wants to come through, and essentially use your writing as a means of communication with you at a soul level. And sometimes when you just let yourself write without any sort of filtering or judgment or ego involved, you can be really surprised at the messages that you write to yourself. And it's really, it's the universe, it's your spirit guides taking advantage of that moment of just allowing. And messages can appear on the paper in front of you that you don't even remember thinking consciously about before you wrote them, and it can be quite inspiring, quite eye-opening. And yeah, I'm getting, so that was a bit of a channeling there, so that may not apply to all of you for sure, maybe about half of you, but if any of you felt drawn to that message, I highly encourage that you take that advice and set aside some time to practice that. There's another message coming through here too of, going to water. Cattails are a water-loving plant. They really thrive in very wet environments, near beaches and shores and deltas, even shallow ponds, of course. And so, yeah, you may need to go to a small body of water or a large body of water if you live by the ocean, whatever calls to you and whatever is nearby, or maybe in an upcoming trip that you're taking, and just find some time to sit and contemplate and get back in touch with that soul purpose. There's such a strong message of you really having it all. It's like you have so much coming to you if you don't already have this in your life. It feels very immediate. It feels like it's in your energy. It feels calm and peaceful, and like there's just this abundance and plenty and sense of having more than you even need. It's just there for you, lush and vibrant and growing. It feels like if you don't have this right now, it feels like it's in your immediate energy, and it's coming into your life, of having the time and the space to do things you truly love, to sip tea and read a book and look out the window and just appreciate the beauty in the landscape around you and in the landscape of your life around you. I'm being really drawn to the rainbow that's drawn on this mug here, and it makes me think of the rainbow that you typically see in a traditional Ten of Cups card, where there's a couple in love sitting watching their children playing, watching their puppies run around, their cats run around. Yeah, I don't think that's actually in the traditional Ten of Cups, but it's in a lot of my decks that have cats and dogs, so I'm getting that message as well, that you might be really drawn to having a big bustling family and that energy of just so much love and community around you. And if this isn't necessarily, family like children or pets that you've, brought into your life to be the caretakers of, the parents of. This may also just pertain to community and a sense of being connected, even being connected with nature and the spirits in the trees on, the land that you live on, or in the soil and the earth and the air. I really see you connecting with kind of that flow of life around you in a way that's very fulfilling. And I get with this like basket woven with a little heart on it, that it's just like, this is like nourishment to your heart in the future here. So now, interestingly, with the Hierophant and the Emperor, that's a very strong masculine go-getting type of energy that's coming into the reading that we don't really see necessarily in the rest of your energy. But I do feel like, with these two pentacle cards here, this Seven of Earth Oak, very strong, grounded, essentially putting time in and being patient and being willing to wait for the exact right time to harvest from your hard work, and maybe needing to, sacrifice in the meantime at times because you're putting in that time and labor and just the abundance isn't quite ready yet. And yet here in this Seven of Earth card, we have this whole basket full of acorns, right? And so there is this harvest, but I have the feeling that these acorns are intended to be planted elsewhere in this forest in order to grow more oak trees. So it's like, I'm getting this message of you harvesting, but it's like an intermediary step. So you're harvesting something that you then are going to plant in order to, it makes me think of like investing money where, you make a small profit and then you turn around and instead of taking that money out and spending it on something in the moment that would give you joy, you actually put that money back in to invest further and allow it to grow even larger so that you can have this really great joy in the future. So that's a bit of the masculine energy that's coming through here. The Emperor and the Hierophant. The Hierophant can be very strict, follow rules, follow convention, follow some tradition. The Emperor makes really great business decisions, is very much a leader and a protector and somebody who provides, right? And someone who can essentially, see this bigger picture and plan what to do for their future and what is going to be the smartest strategic decision in order to ensure the success of, getting a generational energy here with this Ten of Earth. So maybe the success of generations to come. And with the Six of Earth too, I do see a very prosperous turnout for you. Whatever you're investing in, whether it is, financial or whether it's love, relationships, community, planning for a family, buying a home, planning to buy a home. There could even be some of you maybe moving to be closer to water is a message that's coming through as well. But whatever this decision is about, whatever this planning is, I do see that there is going to be great return on this investment. We already saw that here with the two tens, but especially with this Six of Earth coming out, it feels like a sense of what you give, you'll get returned threefold. That threefold rule is coming through very strongly here with the 6 and the 6. Six and the 6, and then also, the 6 makes me think of like 3 times 2. So, okay. And then this last card here, this Temperance card, I'm actually going to pull a couple of clarifying cards on because I have an idea of the message, but I just want to get a little bit of clarity and confirmation either way. I'm just going to grab a deck. Okay, so we've got this Solitary Witch Oracle deck that is just absolutely gorgeous, and it was really calling to me with the colors and the artistry of these cards. Makes me think a little bit of the energy of this deck here. Kind of that energy of contemplation and inner healing and inner knowledge. Yeah. Transcendent amidst the everyday. Wow. I have actually never pulled this card from this deck in a reading here on this channel, so really excited to see the message. I am going to read from the guidebook here for you. Let's see, card number 45. I think that's almost the last. Oh, I think it is the last card. Wow. Yeah, okay. We've got page 171. I feel like that might be significant for somebody. So we have transcendent amidst the everyday. Memory matters. Memory can be the key to the wonder deep inside of you, helping you transcend, making the ordinary world miraculous. See the pentacle that rises, shimmering out of the earth? It is invisible to most eyes. Your eyes see differently. The book of your life is a strange tale, understood by those who also remember their magic. Remember and respect every enchanted page of your life and experience. The lessons learned, the spells cast, the heart that broke then healed, the growth that stretched you, the thousand hurts, pains, rainbows, stabs, and wonders of your life. Remember, for all of it is magical because you are magic. If you remember, you, like this little sorceress, may wonder, how did I know to do this? Yes, that spell worked so well. Ah, that poem I wrote after that dream. Know that, like this witch, your life, the everyday life you live, is threaded with golden strands of magic. Look around you. It is in what you do. Every simple thing is a rite, an act of devotion if you choose it to be so, if you remember to make it so. There is a dimension beneath, above, and around the one others seem to live within, and you are living within them all. Take a moment now and remember when your magic was at its most heightened. That is a page of the book of your life, and it is sacred. Quiet and subtle though they may be, your innate magical abilities are powerful gifts worthy of an acknowledgement. They need practice to fully bloom. Know that you deserve to have a life filled with wisdom you can call upon and appreciate. What is remembered lives. Recall your own love, wisdom, wonder, and gifts. Remember who you truly are, magical one, for that will transmute the dullest of worlds into one woven with wonder. Okay, beautiful. So, temperance here, the meaning that's coming through is that transmutation, that turning the everyday ordinary into something magical. You know, we got such strong information here from this card about rejuvenating, stilling your mind, getting back into touch with those soul gifts, those talents that you were born with. You know, I'm being brought to mind of the quote, pursue that which shines, right? So whatever you're really curious about, whatever looks shiny and interesting to you, it looks that way to you for a reason. So that may be a pursuit, it may be a pet I'm getting, it may be a book that's calling to you, it may be, you know, little decorations, little baubles to put in your hair, it may be a particular style of clothing, it may be a certain tea or even spiritual practice or medicinal. I'm getting people learning about medicinal herbs. So whatever it might be to you, yeah, it's like there's a spirit really wants you to remember that you are magic, and whatever you do, you have the ability to make it even more magical. So it may be something that could even seem like ordinary, like cooking, and yet you have the ability to transcend the ordinary, and you bring magic into this world through your hands, your way of doing things, your attention and intention that you put into something that you love. Yeah, and I'm being drawn here too to this 13 and this full moon. It's really interesting. I've never seen that in this card, even when I've pulled it for myself. So the 13, of course, relates to the death card, and it's the card right before temperance, right? And so there's a message coming through here that something may need to really transform in your life. You may actually need to let go of something that might be getting in the way of you having this sense of your own magic, of your own ability to bring magical things into existence. Allow that to pass. You know, with this 45 adding up to a 9, you're just about there. You're just about at that sense of completion with this thing that you will be letting go of. The full moon is a time to dream, right? A time to realize our aspirations, to come to completion in a sense of fulfillment with something, and then release it, right? That's literally the meaning of the full moon. If you look it up, it's about realizing this fullness, this completion, and then releasing that from your life after the full moon has passed and is starting to wane. Okay, so beautiful messages here for you today, my beautiful pile number 2 watchers. Thank you so much for coming to this channel. Anytime you wish to leave a comment, please feel free to do so. If you enjoyed this reading, definitely give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in a future reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3s. So you were drawn to this Labradorite heart crystal today. And of course, the beautiful Wildwood Tarot. That is such a loved and beloved deck of mine. I apologize for my voice today. I am definitely still recovering a bit from a seasonal cold that I got. Feeling much better, but it still is affecting my voice to some extent. Okay. I am getting bottom 1, bottom 2, okay. Your reading already has such a different energy than the previous piles. I always love when that happens, especially when we have kind of a vague topic. Getting that one for that one there. So our topic, of course, today is just an important message that is wanting to come through for you today, to give you some guidance, to give you whatever it is that you need to hear, whether it's encouragement, information, communication. Yeah, we'll see what comes through here. I get one more card for right now. Yep, that's the one. Okay, beautiful. So go ahead and turn over all of your cards. We've got 7 of Arrows with Insecurity. The Wheel of Fortune, beautiful. Knight of Arrows with Hawk. And these are, arrows are swords in this deck. So this is the 7 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Knight of Bows, 9 of Bows, I'm sorry, Respect. So that is the 9 of Wands. 2 of Arrows, Injustice. So we have 2 of Swords. And we have the 8 of Vessels, Rebirth. Beautiful. So that's 8 of Cups. Centering your reading here is the Star card. In this deck it is the Pole Star. Really beautiful card. And your final card here is the Queen of Bows, which is the Queen of Wands. The Hare. Hmm. Okay, so there's something really difficult that you guys have been dealing with. I get a sense it's not something new. It's not something coming into your life. It's something that has been on your mind, in your energy, kind of bugging you. It has that feeling of like being of like having like a rock in your shoe that's pointy, that keeps jabbing you. You haven't been able to get out for whatever reason. You've tried, but it just keeps kind of coming back around or hanging on, or it eludes you. Trying to kind of ferret it out and get it out of your your life, your energy. I do see this shifting. This energy is definitely about to turn for you. There is a very strong sense of you really, I'm getting the sense that your energy in this is quite keen, quite intelligent. You see far, you see into, you see deeply, and you are about to gain more respect for that ability of yours. You're going to be able to overcome this injustice. I see this kind of, these two cards feel like they're surrounding your energy at the moment. This insecurity and this injustice. And they do feel like they are about to essentially fall away. And so, yeah, I actually want to get a little more information about what this injustice and insecurity is in particular for you. My pile threes, I'm just getting the sense of getting just a couple of clarifying cards. Okay, there we go. So we have the Five of Stones, which is the Five of Pentacles with endurance. And look at this storm going on outside this cave. And we have two caves here, and I just got chills in my legs. So, yeah, and even just the similar energy of, it feels like you're burning something off, burning off old energy, old things that have been holding you back. You're about to transform them. Look at this aurora borealis, these beautiful lights in this night sky, this dipper formation, the great bear formation above this incredible spirit bear standing over the entrance to this cave. And it feels like you've been within this cave for a while, trying to get through some injustice. There's really been something that's been keeping you bound and blinded, is very much the strong message coming through. You've been, and it does feel like there is a sense of protection here. Okay, so yeah, okay, so that's a very strong, because as I said, injustice and that you've been blinded, the message that came through very strongly on the heels of those thoughts was that it's been for a reason. You've been being protected. There's been some reason why you haven't been seeing your way out of the cave just yet, but that's about to shift. Okay, this has been for your protection. Look at this storm raging out here, this lightning. It makes me think of the Tower card. Okay, so yeah, it's really interesting. It almost feels like if you had come out too early, the tower would have been struck and would have fallen. So it's actually saying, good for you. Good job staying in this cave. Good job listening to that inner voice and cultivating a little bit of that stillness and of that kind of keeping inward. Both of these figures are closing their eyes. They're both, they both have that internal feeling in some way. And, all of the arrows on these two cards are also pointing inwards, right? They're pointing in to this. It's like you've had to become really quiet and you've had to become really centered. And maybe you didn't want to. Maybe it felt like you wanted to be out in the world, doing your thing, being bright and bold and exuberant. But this has a sense of like winter around it. It almost looks like snow on the ground here. It feels cold with this beautiful Arctic night sky here. You're having to warm yourself by the fire. You're shivering a bit, right? So there's this sense of it being cold. It's been like you've been going through a little bit of a winter season in your life where for some reason, and I'm not getting an exact reason why, it might be, very different for each of you, but you've been protected from something. If you emerged too quickly from your cave, maybe there wouldn't have been enough food, right? Like a bear hibernating and then coming out looking for food too early, they would starve, right? And so, yeah, perhaps the opportunities that you have been waiting for have not been there. But that's about to shift. Again, like we saw, I'm going to just put these cards off to the side here. So this wheel is turning for you, this great wheel of destiny, of time, of weaving of fates together is about to turn for you. You're going to be able to have this rebirth, right? This abundance. It's like the snow is melting off. It's like spring coming into your life again. All of the waters that were bound up in that snow, high up on that mountain, inaccessible to you, are now melting and pouring down and bringing life back to the land, bringing life back into your landscape, your external circumstances. It also feels very much internally too, that whatever was frozen, being brought to the rune of Isa, where there's a standstill, there's a freeze. It's thawing now. It's turning into that rune of flow. Okay? And your keenness is going to really show itself with guiding you in the direction you're meant to follow. Here we see you emerging. You've already come out of this cave. It's way back behind you. You're going through this dark forest and you're coming out into the light and you're suddenly seeing this beautiful star with all of these shooting stars around it. It's pretty magical. It's a sight that we only see maybe once in our lives, if ever. And you're finding it. You're coming upon it. You've listened to that inner voice. You've had keen sight, keen soul sight, and you've been able to follow divine timing is the message coming through. You've listened to it, and divine timing, isn't letting you down, essentially. With this Nine of Bows and Queen of Bows, this Nine of Wands and Queen of Wands here, I see you coming into a new sense of self, that you're going to respect yourself, all the more because you weathered this winter. You came out, you now get to look back upon this time in your life and realize that you were being protected, for a greater purpose ahead. This Queen of Bows, this hair, is someone who's very spiritually aligned, but is also full of creative power, of fertility, of the ability to manifest what, she, but not gender specific, reading at all. So however you identify. But this Queen of Bows is able to manifest whatever they envision in their head into reality, into what they see in front of themselves. And they are continually moving forward, and not in a way that's like kind of that endless striving, nothing's ever good enough, but in a way it's as if they continue to level up. So even if it's in a way that's not always apparent to those surrounding them, because maybe it's not at a surface level of, always getting more, status or something like that. It's that sense within that continues to level up, this self-respect, this inner knowing that you're following your true passion in life, and you are creating with the universe. You're creating hand in hand with your soul, with your spirit guides. You're really in touch. It's as if you're tuned in to the vibration of the universe around you, and you almost act as this magical creating force of being able to bring things to life that others could only envision. And it brings you a lot of respect, both from yourself and others. And I want to go ahead and get a sound healing oracle card for you. What is something that pile 3 needs to know right now that will help them move, transition from this one phase of their life to the next? What is something they need to hear or need to know? Some message of encouragement or guidance for our beautiful pile 3s. What is something that our pile 3s really need to hear? Okay. Pink Spirit Gold Limonite. And we have Transmutation, Devotion, and Divine Feminine. Beautiful. With the number 12. I feel like that might be significant, this number 12 for some of you. I'm actually going to read from the book for this one. I didn't do that for any of the other piles for this oracle deck, but I just got a very strong message. I feel like this Divine Feminine message is really tying in with this Queen of Bows energy. Let's see here. Oh, this is this beautiful sound healing oracle deck. Okay. Alchemy message. Okay, so these energies of transmutation remind you to look at life from a bird's eye view. Yep. And not be a victim of your story. Okay, so, with this insecurity and injustice, there may have been a bit of a feeling of being a victim, but this is reminding you that you are not. You have the ability to choose your perspective, and your empowered choices make all the difference. You are the creator, the producer, the writer, and the director of your life. You cast all the players, and you are the star of your movie. Yeah, okay, so that very much reinforces this message here, and I love that it said you are the star of your movie. So I feel like you're going to be coming back into that remembrance that you get to choose who is in your life, what is in your life, how your life plays out. Every play is very much affected by your choices and your thoughts as well, right? So if you are struggling with respecting yourself at this time, know that you can always choose to transmute any negative thoughts into positive thoughts. You can practice self-love and self-respect, even if your external circumstances at this time don't seem to be, helping helping those thoughts, right? They don't seem to be giving you those self-respecting thoughts on their own. That doesn't matter, throw these energies away from you and keep that core of devotion to yourself in the way that you respect yourself. You remember your worth. You are embodying and are able to embody this divine feminine energy of self-care and self-nurturance, regardless of your gender. We all have divine feminine and divine masculine within us. So I'm going to get you guys just one more parting oracle card. I'm being called to do that, so let me grab a good deck for you. Okay, so we have this beautiful Hedgewitch Botanical Oracle. It has some very strong healing power that I feel is going to be important to you guys as you make this transition. Yes, here we go. Okay, so we've got 2 oracle cards here for you. We have Regenerate with the Morel Mushroom, and then we have Elder, which is one of the most healing. Elderberry is used in so many remedies. Maybe some of you are experiencing a bit of a seasonal cold here right now as well. Elderberry, this sambuca, is often found in natural healing remedies for seasonal colds and even as a preventative measure too. So your guides might be telling you to go ahead and take some of that. You know, I'm not a medical professional, so please don't take my advice that way. This is meant for entertainment purposes only. But if you feel called to do so, then this just might be reinforcing that feeling that you've already had to take some elderberry to care for yourself. And then with this morel, regenerate, you know, this is also giving me that sense. Mushrooms have a really strong network that helps to support them. It also is a way that they communicate underground with other mushrooms, other species. And so there is a strong message here about reaching out to others and asking for support. You know, if you know that you're struggling a bit with this self-respect, reach out to others that you know without a doubt love and care about you and see you in that highest light, and ask them for some words of encouragement. Ask them for, you know, what they love about you and what they admire most when they think of you. Ask them for some specific examples of a time when you really impressed them, when you really, you know, stood up for your morals or stood up for others in a way that was, you know, really embodying that divine feminine of being caring, of nurturing, of protecting others. You know, the divine feminine also protects, not just the divine masculine. And then this message of regenerate, you know, is just another nod of encouragement, I feel, from your spirit guides, that as difficult as this time might be that you're going through, a new sense of passion and empowerment and a new sense of being invigorated by life is going to be coming through here very soon for you. So hold on to that, my beautiful pile number 3s. And thank you so much for coming to this reading here today, letting me read for your energy. I really enjoyed doing all of these readings here today, and they were all so different. So definitely, if you felt called to another pile, feel free to watch another pile as well. There were some messages about the divine masculine in pile number 2, so I am getting just a quick message there that some of you may be called to watch that for a bit of balance here. But if you weren't called to pile 2, then it may not be for you, but follow your own intuition or curiosity there. And yeah, so I hope to see you next time. Definitely feel free to comment, share your experience in the commentary box below. And if you enjoyed this reading, give me a thumbs up, follow the channel if you'd like to see more of these readings when I post them, and I will hopefully see you again in the future. Take care.